7,
so
6,
don't want it to
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set.
And we are off, and it looks like there was a plastic bag that rolled across the start line as the wind picked up right at the beginning of the race, getting in Rage's way, but no collision with the plastic bag. And a disaster was avoided. SigEp having a great run uphill 1 as they make their transition from their hill 1 to hill 2 pusher. 16.5 seconds, very strong hill 1 time. SDC making their transition in about 20 seconds. A bit more mediocre of a hill 1 time, but I'm not one to speak because I can't run that fast. SigEp makes their push off into the free roll. And for a new buggy, it looks a little odd. It's a little high in the front. It seems to be rolling okay, although SDC's Rage is actually catching up a little bit in the back as it makes its change over the road from one side to the other. Now, it's very unusual to have kind of top-performing teams roll this early in the morning, and typically what happens is the road heats up over time. People believe it leads to faster times. So to see them roll this early is a little odd, but I guess because they're a newcomer, they haven't had that much history. Gets to the stop sign at 56 seconds, not a bad time. Rage crosses at 58. So it's a competitive heat with a lot of the other teams, and get to their flagger. So a lot of it's going to come down to whether or not they can maintain momentum in the chute. Rage is only about 20 feet behind. I don't know if there's going to be a push, but they are going to be close going into the chute, as Rage will probably pick up a few feet. And it looks like, yep, they're neck and neck as they crossed over, and we'll have to check the tape on that one. I didn't see exactly what happened, but Rage is coming out of the chute faster than SigEp, and SigEp has to pick up their buggy a lot earlier. In fact, they don't even roll up to the beginning of Doherty. I don't know if it was a poor free roll, collision, or something else that stopped their momentum, just avoidance of a crash, but SDC is out ahead of SDC's C team with Rage is out ahead of SigEp's A team, which is a little unusual as they make their transition off to their hill 4 pusher, and SigEp just still running up hill 4, trying to catch up a little bit. And the buggy's definitely getting closer. You do have to watch out if you are pushing, just to make sure that you don't get clipped by the buggy, and also make sure that at the end of your run you don't swerve out into the buggy. As Rage makes their push off to hill 5, and looks like SigEp made up a little bit of their time as they make their push off to the hill 5. But given that both push-offs took place after 2 minutes, these are going to be over 2:20 times. And coming up towards the finish line, everyone gets out, and they're getting close to the finish line. Looks like SDC's C team is still ahead of SigEp's A team, as it will be a little bit of a disappointing finish for SigEp as they cross the line neck and neck with a time of about 2 minutes and 25 seconds. So it looks like despite SigEp's strong performance last year, unless they can pull off a miracle with their B team, they won't be making it to the second day.
Alan, so some disappointment for SigEp is sort of, that was their A team, expected big things out of it, but you think, what time do you think you're going to need to be in the top 10 to make it today, approximately?
I think you'll have to be sub 220.
Sub 220?
Maybe 221, but historically, you've needed fairly strong times under 220 to make it to the second day.
Yeah, and we're watching a replay of the chute pass right now. It's just a nice wide turn. It was just all about the speed as SigEp took SDC took the wider turn. And
interesting, you know, they took a wider turn, which would make you think that they're going farther, but it just actually gave them a smoother path around the free roll, so that way by the time the hill 3 pusher picked it up, then they're well on their way.
Yeah, some very skilled driving. Really,
yeah, I mean,
real heads-up play.
That's where the driver comes in, really, especially in a neck-and-neck type of race like that. The driver can make all the difference. For the most part, the driver is just. I don't think there's
not a lot of strategic aspects.
Yeah, not a lot
driving.
of strategic aspects. I mean, it's tough and it's hard, and it can only be done by a select group of midgets. But at the same time,
little people, Vivek.
That's right. But
yeah, especially in a sort of an AC race, you really wouldn't expect that tight race.
But then when it comes into a tight race, exactly. That's what the driver can actually separate them, and that was a pretty amazing performance right there.
We're also watching a replay of the finish. Very close. First buggy in at about 225.5. The other one at about 226. So just a second, even less than that.
Literally a photo finish, even in slow motion. It's